we cross the Great Bridge of Murden, we'll be in my father's territory. We actually crossed it 5 years ago for the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Remember? Oh, this is terrifying. What am I gonna do? I gotta get a grip. Oh, no. You should pray we don't run into him at all. The front lines cover a long stretch of land, you know? Thank you.
Hi. Really? So, the campaign continues, does it? Well, allow me, as a professional recluse with 10 years of experience, to volunteer for, staying behind. Oh, who am I kidding? The fighting won't stop until we've defeated Edelgard, will it? Or until we lose, I guess. But there's not much use in thinking about that. The Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Has it truly been 5 years since then? Can you recall whether it was before or after I joined your class, Professor? I am glad you have not forgotten. It was shortly after I joined your class. I remember it like it was yesterday. No.
Great Bridge of Murden was considerably better fortified than it was 5 years ago. The bridge was full of soldiers, and they all died.
I gotta say, it's tough to keep the fighting spirit alive when you recognize your enemies on the battlefield. So you can't avoid it, huh? How did everything get so messed up?
Just because we're fighting someone doesn't mean we gotta hate them.
That's probably the worst thing about war. Win or lose, I still get a bad taste in my mouth.
No. I can hardly believe we're crossing the borders of the Empire to battle their army. Never thought I'd see the day. You'd never guess from the calm looks on everyone's faces, though. I mean, we're probably all gonna die, let's be honest. His Highness, Lord Rodrigue, you? There's really something wrong with a lot of you, I swear.
Professor, reconnaissance is becoming more of a risk the deeper we move into enemy territory. If I don't come back, assume I'm dead. I'm glad you think so highly of me, but we have to be realistic. Don't waste your energy worrying about me.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. I hear we're sending troops to Gronder Field next. Is that what's what? That whole area is in the territory of House Burgleys. It's famous as the main granary of Fodlan. If we could capture it, we probably wouldn't have to worry about food anymore. Bread for all. Hello! Tell your friends!
Yeah. You know, war really is terrible. People die, food becomes scarce. Weapons and rations start selling like hotcakes. Nobles start begging for loans. Oh, I didn't mean for that to sound so cold, really. Anyway, where are we off to this time? I hope it's the Alliance.
Hello there. This one, yes? I thank you. This one, yes? I thank you. This one, yes? I thank you. This one, yes? I thank this one, yes? I thank you. Return soon, please.
Hello there.
Professor.
Hello.
Pardon me.
So, Claude and my father have made peace. That is to be expected. They both prioritize their own interests above all else. So long as those interests are in alignment, they will continue to cooperate. And based on that reasoning, one might infer that the Alliance should be also willing to work with the Kingdom's military. I highly doubt Claude would refuse to assist us if we were to ask.
say we do manage to take down Edelgard here. What do you think His Highness will do next? As long as there's a plan, I won't complain. I just, you know, want to know there is a plan. Yeah, I suppose that's the most likely plan, since we're traveling with the church and everything. I suppose we should focus on the battle right in front of us, instead of what happens later.
Why is it? Maybe. This is hard. Wow.
I would be liking that greatly.
I like seeing a table full of my favorite dishes.
As powerful as our knights are, we're outnumbered by a long shot. This won't be easy. It's crazy to attempt this. I guess I'm crazy to go along with it.
We captured the Great Bridge of Murden, but the fight has only just begun. Enbar, the Imperial capital, lies far to the south beyond Gronder Field. And waiting for us on the way there is the entire Imperial army, with twice as many troops as us. We had better brace ourselves.
Say, I once saw the prince patting the head of an orphan from the monastery. Does this mean even that cruel man has some empathy in his heart? Was it just a random whim? Maybe my eyes just tricked me.
Hi there! So, we're finally moving into enemy territory. We can expect the war to get even more intense from here on out. I'm really feeling the tension now. I have almost no experience with battles of this scale. Professor, I'll be grateful for your leadership on the battlefield. I know I can trust you.
Pardon.
Hey, you!
Hello there.
I have a thought. Word just reached me that the Empire has stationed soldiers in Fort Mercius. If they decide to dig in their heels and defend the fort, we'll be in a difficult situation. I hear it's an impregnable keep, surrounded by high ramparts. Taking it would not be easy.
Edelgard's presence suggests that Hubert is around too. He is Minister of the Imperial Household, after all. He's been around Edelgard since they were children. I suppose he must be pretty happy with his current position.
Hey, I could use a hand.
When undertaking research, the usual method is to form a hypothesis, then test it with experiments. Those experiments reveal facts and falsehoods, yet sometimes they also unveil an exception. You seem to be that exception when it comes to my crest research. Worry not, Professor. Exceptions are what make my work interesting. Why don't the rules apply to you? I will find out eventually. I feel it is my destiny as a crest scholar.
Okay. I heard the next battle might take us to Gronder Field. Is that right? Reminds me of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. But of course that was a very different time. When it was over, all three class heads complimented each other on their bravery. And then we had a party. But we can never go back to that, can we?
A moment.
I seem to lack the skills required to grieve for the dead. If someone has passed, even someone dear to me, I could stand about and wail or get on with my life. While I'm at it, that whole idea that we must speak well of the dead, I don't understand that either. If I didn't like them when they were alive, then why pretend to do so when they are no longer here?
Each time we press forward, our search for Rhea broadens to a wider area. I certainly hope we will find at least some clue. But I do suspect I already know where she is. If I'm right, and she is in the Imperial capital, then we cannot save her until we topple the Empire.
Nobles who are changing allegiance again and again. I do not have understanding for that. How can you trust if treason comes with ease? How can you be calling yourself a noble? I do not have understanding of the reasoning. Surviving is more difficult without trust. There must be some other goal.
I hear the next battle could be a big one. Is that true? I miss the old days when if someone got hurt, we'd rush them to the infirmary and make them well. But on the battlefield, there's not enough time to help. People die. Professor, don't be one of those.
The thought of fighting people who were once our friends, it makes my heart heavy. If it was gonna come to this, Maybe I should have avoided making friends with people from the Empire and the Alliance to begin with. I just don't know, Professor. I'm having a hard time with it. It did often seem strange to me at the Academy that we were studying with all these people from all over the world. But I feel like I've finally started to understand the real reason behind it. The more you get to know people from other places, the harder you'll try to avoid fighting wars with them. Thank you for bringing me here. I've been given permission to take part in this next mission, too. I'll finally be able to avenge my brother. I swear. I'll take down that monster. I heard Edelgard is going to be leading her forces personally in the next battle. Seems pretty reckless to charge right into this one. I'm not sure I like our chances. What do you think? Hey, how come you only ever flatter me in times like these? What am I supposed to make of that? Anyway, we've come this far. Let's just keep putting one foot in front of the other and see how far we get.
Catherine will surely be able to convince Count Karen. All that remains is to wait for a response from the Alliance side. For now, there are preparations to be made for the coming battle.
Yet another grand battle awaits. Many will lose their lives. Yes, let's. We must both make it home in one piece. Even considering those we are up against. Friends from a time now past. I won't hold back.
I'm glad you're the one giving orders on the battlefield, Professor. I don't think we should trust Dimitri with that task. Although it's thanks to his obsession that we're wasting no time, taking the shortest route to defeating the Empire. I just can't see a bright future for this army, fighting as we are under the banner of a prince possessed. Even if we do succeed in defeating the Empire, I wonder what will become of Fodlan. I apologize. Whenever I'm with you, I speak more openly than I should. Please keep this between us.
If we defeat the Imperial army at Gronder Field, what will our next objective be? I guess we won't have much choice but to try to take Fort Mercius, on the far side of Gronder Field. It's probably too soon for us to be thinking about that, isn't it? The battle just ahead of us is far from certain.
So, we're finally going to set foot in the Empire. I'm starting to get a little nervous. I guess there's a good chance we'll be fighting more old friends from here on out.
I gotta keep this place clean, and I mean properly clean, every day. Dust it, sweep it, everything. You never can tell when Lady Rhea might be back.
Oh, it's you, Professor. Sorry, I was a little lost in thought there, about all that has happened and all that is to come. I'm sure the battles ahead will not be easy, but please take good care of His Highness.
Thanks. I'm glad I asked you.
Thanks to our victory, I've been able to study the Great Bridge of Murden at my leisure. And you know what? It's an astounding structure. So much history there. Imagine how much time and effort it must have taken to build something that big. Over water, no less. I hope that someday it will be opened up to the people of Fodlan. A historical site, rather than a military checkpoint.
The situation in the Alliance has changed so much, but I haven't heard a word from my adoptive father. Do you think he's forgotten about me? If that's the case, I hope he gets even busier. I'd actually be happier if he really did forget about me. Everything would be so much easier. Please?
Something appears to be wrong with my throat.
Professor, let me sing for you. Do you not like my voice? It would make a Pegasus dance with joy.
My thanks. You have my sincerest gratitude. Circumstances and my wounds have prevented me from being by His Highness's side these 5 years. I am grateful that you have found him for me. I am once again in your debt.
I can finally kill her. Finally, I can avenge them. Need something? See you again soon.
listen up. I've got something to report. The Great Tree Moon is finally upon us. It's time to celebrate a new year. We only get so many. Folks up top don't seem to be in the mood to celebrate, though. I hate war.
We've seen the face of evil. One of its faces, at least. Even the Alliance is involved now. Hopefully, we can avoid dragging Alliance territory through the horrors of war. I may have cut ties with my family, but I still want them to be safe and all.
I used to be a rather important person in the church, but I am in exile for committing a crime. I embezzled some money, but it wasn't out of greed. My hometown was pillaged, you see, and the church wasn't putting in enough to rebuild. Please, you can't tell anyone you saw me here. I'm in hiding from the army. I couldn't stand the war, the violence. I had to get away. But now that I've deserted, I can't go home. Justice, ambition, what does any of that matter if you're dead? I just want to live. Is that so wrong?
That's so... What a pain. What an absolute pain. Concerned, are you? That's nice. A little too nice. Here's a word of warning. If anyone here asks you for a favor, it's probably just a scam.
Across the bridge is Bergley's territory. It marks the start of our incursion into the Empire. Worry not. I feel no trepidation as we do this. Mark how my spellcraft carries us through to Envar, heart of the Empire.
That Duke Fraldarius is a rather outstanding guy. Getting into his good graces isn't without challenges. If he were a bit more corrupt, he'd be much more pliable. I'm not trying to pull anything funny, just noting that he's a respectable soldier. I hear he's the sort to have drinks with his men, getting to know them personally. Just last night, he and Felix had a chat. I'm sure there's a lot to work out between them.
They're fighting people we used to know from the Officers' Academy. Guess that's the kind of thing that happens in war, but still, it's pretty twisted. It makes me feel so... Ugh. Maybe I'll just try not to think about it.
I like this.
This is my favorite dish. Did someone tell you?
I think I like this, but it's been a while, so I'm not sure.
I've eaten many meals in my time, but this is divine.
This is my absolute...
Delicious!
Ah, meals always taste best when it is a company of 3 or more at the table.
Do you not enjoy eating when it's just the two of us? You wound me, Flame.
That looks delicious.
Yeah, you just get...
That looks appetizing.
Ooh.
I appreciate...
This is...
Hey, Felix! Can I talk to you for a minute?
What is it? I'm listening.
Look, over there! Isn't that a cute kitty?
Oh, I agree. I don't dislike cats.
Here, try this. It's candy, but I promise it isn't sweet.
Perhaps I'll have a piece, if it's not sweet.
Hey, are you busy? I've got this great book and...
What are you doing?
Huh?
Why are you so concerned with me? More importantly, didn't you used to be shy?
Oh, I'm as shy as ever.
Then why are you following me around?
That's, well, you know how ghosts are only scary because you can't see or talk to them?
You're saying I'm a ghost.
What? No, it was just a metaphor.
There you are, foolish as ever.
That's it! You're smiling again!
What?
That's why I've been working so hard to talk to you. I wanted to see you smile again.
I'm disappointed. Such a trivial reason.
You're pestering me without a hint of fear just to see me smile. You've really grown up.
Yeah, I guess. Wait, why are you being nice? Did something terrible happen? Did you have a falling out with an old friend or something? This is the part where you get angry at me, isn't it?
Come on. You were saying something about a book I should read?
Really? Well, it's, this one, if you wouldn't mind.
Flame! There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you.
You worry too much, brother.
I think a kidnapping is good cause for concern. I was so worried about you I nearly fainted.
Had that not happened, I would have never been allowed to join the professor's class. Even from something so dire, some good did come of it.
That is a dangerous attitude. This world is full of peril. You must be more vigilant. Please understand, I allowed you to enroll here only because I thought it best for your safety.
I am very much aware of that. You wanted to speak to me of something?
Yes, my dear little sister. You are kind beyond all measure, and you are the very picture of innocence. But precisely because of these very fine qualities, I worry about your interactions with the others here. The youths of our army are particularly eccentric. As your brother, it is my duty to help you with any concerns you may have.
I do appreciate the offer, but all the students and professors have treated me exceptionally well.
Even so, there must be at least some worry. Please, you need not conceal anything from me.
You worry far too much.
There is truly nothing to share, and nothing for you to fret over.
Are you absolutely sure? The idea of you suffering in silence is unbearable to me.
Enough! I made it clear that nothing is wrong. I stand by my word.
Well, there is one concern that comes to mind.
What is it? Tell me. I will help however I can.
There is a certain somebody who seems determined to get in the way of my friendships with my classmates.
What? That's horrible! Fear not. I will handle this scoundrel for you. Just tell me his name.
It is you, brother. Now then, I must be on my way.
What was Flame getting at just now? Let's see, I was speaking to her. I asked her to share her concerns, and... was there something else? No matter. Fear not, Flame. Your brother will protect you from all harm.
What an interesting way of looking at life. Ah, it is you. Just at the right time. Oh, is it nighttime already? I must have gotten carried away. There is something I wanted to discuss. Something about you. I am starting to believe that you are a true hero. You hold the Lost Crest, you wield the Sword of the Creator, and you lead everyone in battle against great enemies. Not only that, but you are a strategist. You stand alongside rulers, supporting them, advising them. You do not seem particularly ambitious, and yet you accomplish so much. I am not exaggerating. Everything I said is true. I have been reading about the history of Fargus, you know. The kingdom's founder, Lug, the king of lions, had two advisors. One of them was Pan, the undesiring strategist. According to historical records, Pan wanted nothing for himself. He devoted himself entirely to Lug. He had tremendous power, but he never seemed concerned about his legacy. So in the old chronicles, there is hardly any mention of Pan's deeds. All that we know is that he helped Lug, his friend and leader. It is not surprising that you have never heard of him. I did not even know his name until recently. But when I watch how you conduct yourself, I feel that I am seeing the unknown deeds of Pan. It is only a thought, of course, but it makes me feel rather happy. Even if it is not in the pages of a history book, a life can be full of achievement. I know that I will never prevail over Edelgard. Even if I defeat her on the battlefield, I am what I am. Like you and this undesiring strategist, I will do what I am called to do, even if no mark of me remains in the history books.
Hey! This will... I still need... Quite intrigued.
I answered. I'll do what I must. No need for praise.
All right. Hey.
Practice is paying off. That was challenging.
Tell me something. Yeah, great answer.
Professor.
Here for the flowers again? You might as well have a look while you are here. I have two things to say. First, I thank you for supporting His Highness in my absence. But I must also admonish you for taking your own well-being too lightly. On several occasions, I have seen you protect others by putting yourself in harm's way. I am grateful for your efforts, but I feel you should place a higher value on your own life. His Highness relies on you, as do I. Then show that with your actions. We cannot afford to lose an invaluable asset like you. And... this greenhouse would be a more lonely place without you in it. It would not be fair to the flowers to leave me their only caretaker. Someday, I hope to show you a whole landscape of these flowers in full bloom. Yes. Once this conflict is over, and His Highness ascends the throne, I believe it can be done. You must live at least until then. Understood? I had not thought much of my own life until now, except that I would gladly cast it aside for His Highness. That is still true, but now I desire to see the end of this war. Until I can show you the fields of Dusker and Bloom, I will go on living.
I will enjoy this.
You can count on me. Pretty good job, if I do say so myself.
Technique never betrays.
This is no good.
Wise indeed to say. Maybe. This is hardly a power. Wow.
There you are, Ingrid.
Whoa, hi, Ash. You seem excited. What's that you're holding?
A book I found in town. I bought it for you.
From me? Ash, this looks very costly. Antique books like this are never cheap. Wow. The cover is stunning, and the binding is still in fantastic condition.
I drove a hard bargain. Still, I'll probably have to cut back on my spending for a while.
Why did you go to so much trouble?
It wasn't easy, but as soon as I came across this legend, I knew you had to read it too.
Well then, I will read it. Oh, the knight on the cover looks striking.
Fascinating, right? I was captivated from the moment I laid eyes on the cover.
There's an aura of stoicism intermingled with beauty, even amid a gruesome battle. Wait, looking closer at the face, this knight is a woman.
Yes, and she was a real historical figure. She was born into a noble family and bore a crest, but she was accepted into the king's service as a knight. She fought in many battles at her king's side, serving him all her life as his right hand. Oh, sorry, I've said too much. I didn't mean to spoil the story for you. I'm just so excited. I hope you enjoy it too.
Thank you for the encouragement, Ash. Living as a knight is certainly not an easy task. I know it will mean much pain, strife, and heartache. But I still want to pursue that dream. Talking to you has reminded me. I'm not the type who gives up easily.
That's the Ingrid I know.
So to start, I'm going to read this book.
Great! When you're finished and freshly inspired, we'll talk about becoming knights. Not the ones in stories either. The real thing.
I look forward to it, Ash.
That looks appetizing.
The flavor is nostalgic to me for some reason. I'd like some more.
That looks
Oh, my favorite!
Pardon me,
Well...
I appreciate any good meal, but nothing beats enjoying my favorite food.
I've eaten many meals in my time. This is the...
Caspar, your stomach will burst if you eat all of that.
Don't worry about me. I've got a stomach of steel. Professor knows what I'm talking about.
Yummy!
This food is a revelation.
Yeah, you just...
This...
I like this.
This is... Praying, Father?
Yes. Praying is all I can do. For I am at fault for each death upon the cursed plain of Dusker.
You keep saying it's your fault, Father, but you're wrong. His Highness doesn't blame you. Neither does King Lambert, I'm sure of it. But I guess that's not the issue for you, is it?
It was my duty to protect the royal family. I should have given my life to protect the king, even if His Highness has forgiven me. My knightly vows are still broken. My knighthood is lost.
That's obvious from looking at you, Father. I think Mother understood it as well. But before fleeing the country, I wish you had thought about your family. If only for a moment. Even if the whole world had condemned you. We would always have been your allies.
I am sorry, Annette.
No, I told you before. I don't particularly want you to apologize.
Annette.
Yes, Father?
Take this.
A bundle of letters. There are so many.
Look inside and you will understand. Should the contents make you sad, please burn them.
Father! For the love of... He's done it again. But what have we here? Just as I thought. Letters for me and Mother. So many. But why? And how? I suppose I'll have to read them if I hope to find my answers.
Professor. Professor, a moment. I am sorry that I doubted your ability. I deeply regret ever holding such a view of you. It is obvious to me now that you are extraordinary. Do you doubt your own power, even now? I suppose that's only natural. You've lived your whole life knowing next to nothing about yourself. Not even Gerald could have possibly known all there is to know about you. But I wonder, are you satisfied with that? Are you content, not knowing who you are? Or do you yearn to know more? That was a foolish question, of course. You are not the sort to be complacent. So, only one more question matters. Are you ready? The truth. All of it. Learning it will doubtlessly have direct consequences on your life. I do not know what those will be. You may decide, once you learn it, that you wish you hadn't. But even if you have such regrets, you will never be able to return to ignorance. So, are you ready to know the truth? I see. That is what I wish to hear. Since the Archbishop put so much faith in you, I will continue to offer my aid. More than that, I will put my faith in you as well. And I will do all that is within my power to help you someday reach the truth.
Professor. Hey, Professor. Can we talk? I feel terrible about the last time we spoke. I was trying to apologize and just ended up losing my temper again. I'm really sorry. I figured you'd say that, but I still feel like an idiot. Somehow, I just have a hard time keeping my feelings in check around you. And I think if I don't just tell you what I'm thinking, we'll never be able to have a normal conversation. So, let me clear the air. I want us to, engage. Yeah, exactly. I know it's a sudden thing to ask, but I'm not going to feel settled until I know where I stand. Would you do that for me? Good. Don't hold back, okay? I want to see you at your absolute best. Phew. You got me. I'm completely outmatched. Maybe, but you were definitely stronger. Honestly, that's what I needed to see. You're a true successor to Captain Gerald's style of swordplay. I almost felt like you were him. I thought I was competing with you. But that's as pointless as competing against him would have been. So instead of that, I'm going to focus on keeping the promise I made to him. Captain Gerald said that if anything should happen to him, I'd have to support you in his place. He didn't sound serious at the time, but it was right before he... you know, before we lost him. So, I've decided. I'd like to do just what he said. I know I'm not as strong as I need to be, but I swear to you, I'll train until I am. What do you say? Can I call you my employer? Yes! It's official. I'll protect you no matter what.
I appreciate... There must be more. I have deep... This could... This could... This one...
All right. Wow. Hey. Wow.
Ah.
Tell me. It is a...
Professor?
We did well enough.
Still a long way to go.
I'll do my best with that. I'm starting to get it.
It's starting to feel like a part of me.
Looks like I'm getting it.
I'm getting...
Good.
Singing.
There is still more to learn.
Hey, Professor. It's been a while. Well, actually not that long. If you're here about the reinforcements, no need to worry. I've sorted everything out with my father. If the Alliance agrees to chip in as well, we might have a real chance at victory.
Wise indeed to say. Maybe. This is hard. Wow.
It's too rare that we get a chance to kick. I apologize.
This is my...
Ooh.
This looks delicious.
I like this.
Ah, I can eat so...
Yummy.
This is...
I like this.
This is...
quick scoop.
Delicious.
I did not expect much from the dining hall, but this does not disappoint.
This is my absolute...
That doesn't feel good at all. Ugh, why did he have to punch me so hard?
Hey, Caspar. Something the matter?
Oh, hi, Hilda. Yeah, I just got in a little fight. No big deal. Definitely won.
Your face is all swollen. That looks painful. Come on, let's get you to the infirmary.
No, that's really too much. Like I said, I'm fine.
Don't argue, just come along. You look ghoulish.
Huh? Maybe it's worse than I thought. Oh, whatever. It can't hurt to have it looked at.
There, that should do it. You'll be all right now.
Great. Thanks, Hilda. I had no idea you were so good at this.
I always tended to my big brother's wounds, so I have lots of experience. I'm curious, though. Why are you always getting into fights? You really got hurt. Surely it would have been better not to bother.
It's not like I go looking for fights, and I'm not always the one who starts them. There are just a lot of guys in this world who won't listen to reason. Somebody's gotta beat some sense into them.
So that's why you're always picking fights. Why not ignore them, or ask someone else for help?
Maybe that's how you'd handle it, but I can't just look the other way.
How very gallant. But maybe you should try showing a little restraint.
You really think that?
Yes, I do. I don't think you can solve all your problems by throwing a few punches. The world's a big place. At this moment, all over Fodlan, countless people are in some kind of trouble. But they'll figure things out one way or another, even without you there. Try to hold back and see what happens. Maybe you'll be surprised. Besides, if you're always picking fights, you might get so badly injured that you can't protect me.
Now that's a good point right there. I guess I could give this whole restraint thing a shot.
Oh? Can I... How? Oh?
I'm getting that.
You're quite...
You're pretty.
No. I am.
This way. This way.
Professor.
We did well enough.
War is an effective teacher.
Making strides.
I still have much to learn.
I've come too far to stop now.
This is no...
Rising. Maybe. This is hardly... Wow.
Ah, Lawrence. Do you have a moment to spare, my dear?
Hello, Professor Manuela. I trust all is well with you.
I am quite well, thank you for asking. You are always such a gentleman.
Thank you for saying so. How may I be of service?
I was wondering if we might spend a little time together. Maybe chat a bit?
Certainly. It is an honor to speak with someone as elegant as yourself. I've just made tea. Would you like a cup?
Oh, that would be just lovely. Lawrence, I hope you won't think it too forward of me, but I was wondering if you could explain a poem to me. It goes like this. Verdant rains soothe my aching heart like a cherished friend. Amid time's flow I mourn, bonds I'm not sure I can ever rend. As my mind clings to desperate thoughts, here it comes, horsebow moon and summer's end.
Oh, that's my poem.
As I suspected, I've checked absolutely everyone's handwriting. It's a sad poem, though, isn't it? Feels lonely, possibly even, dare I say, defeated. What makes you feel that way, Lawrence? Why aren't you happy? I very much want to know.
Well, I suppose Wait, why are you reading my poetry? Where did you even get that?
I found it, and when I saw the words, I read them. Well, that's what people do when they see words. They read them.
Kindly return that at once. Reading someone else's work without permission. What an egregious breach of etiquette. Honestly.
Oh, dear. Snatching at something someone else is holding. How violent. It's not like you to lose your composure, Lawrence.
Please, just forget you ever saw it. I beg you.
I'm afraid I could never forget that peek into the darkness of your soul. Nor would I want to.
Then at the very least, would you kindly promise not to mention it to anyone else?
Don't feel embarrassed. No, be proud. It's a lovely piece of writing. Quite revealing. I'd never guess you'd have such hidden depths. Tell me more.
That's quite enough.
Oh, that's absolutely adorable. So bashful. I simply must hear more of his poetry sometime soon.
The flavor is nostalgic.
This is...
My favorite meal and...
Wow. This is all...
Yeah, you...
I like...
It's too... I apologize.
This looks...
Worry not, I will.
Ah, hello. Dedu, yes?
Finished praying?
I am, yes. You have grown much since I saw you last. You're a man now.
You barely know me.
True. I suppose we did only meet a handful of times.
As haggard as you look now, you were even worse when I last saw you in the capital.
Haggard, eh? True enough.
Still weighed down by the same regret, I see.
I was unable to protect the king. That is the ultimate failure. One I must atone for.
If you have the spare time to beg forgiveness, then pick up a lance and train.
That would do nothing to atone for the dead.
Your prayers are mere self-indulgence.
You do not understand.
No, I do not. Fargus needed you. His Highness needed you.
There was no other choice but for me to leave. What would you have done if you were in my place? If His Highness had died due to your failures?
If he commanded me to live, then I would live. Otherwise, I would die with him. I have nothing left to lose other than His Highness. Home, family, all but that man I have already lost. You were a knight in service to the king for decades. Not only did you excel in bravery, wisdom, and tactics, but in matters of character, you were an ideal knight, utterly above reproach. That is what His Highness has always said. I have only come this far by modeling my conduct after his stories of you. But now...
Forget those words spoken by His Highness. I am no different a man than I was before. Beaten down by sin. Alone and weak. I am lost and irredeemable.
Professor.
I will not yield! Yeah!
It's been a while since I had such a close call. If not for you, Professor, I wouldn't have made it. I didn't expect to be ambushed on a simple scouting mission. You should be asking about the mission, not about me. I have to ask, Professor, what brought you here? So you came to protect me. I'm beginning to understand why your allies love you. These are selfish times. One doesn't expect to encounter selflessness. You're kind. In that respect, I'd say you're much like Lady Rhea. Of course. It's thanks to her kindness that I'm here today. I was an outlaw in Fargus. She took me in and let me live here. Didn't I tell you? I was born into House Karen, in Fargus. They used to call me Thunderstrike Cassandra. I was implicated in a plot to kill the king. It was a totally false accusation, of course. I had to flee the kingdom, and the Archbishop took me in. I used to be a student at the academy, so I knew I'd be safe here. Lady Rhea saved me once when I was a student, you know. I don't really remember what happened. I was badly injured and near death. Lady Rhea took care of me. She didn't mind getting dirty. She took my muddied, bloodied body into her arms. Since then, Lady Rhea has been my inspiration. I will always serve her, protect her, love her. For some reason, when I think about Lady Rhea, your face comes to mind. You've become an important presence in my life. I wasn't expecting you to have a positive response. I'm not thrilled about it personally. I am still going to keep my eye on you. Not so I can report to Lady Rhea, though. Just because I want to.
Thank you very much.
Catherine has successfully convinced Count Karen. However, the knights we sent to the Alliance have yet to return.
Professor, don't waste your energy.
There's quite a bit of fog settling in. We won't be able to advance our troops very far in this.
We won't be able to move at all until the fog lifts. No matter which path we take, we'll have to be patient and wait it out. Gilbert? No? Gustav. I would like to take this opportunity to speak with you about something. It's about the tragedy of Dusker. There's something about it I just can't wrap my head around.
I'm listening.
I lost a son in Dusker that day. I exhausted every last resource I had to investigate what took place there. I was startled to find that there wasn't a single shred of evidence to suggest that Lady Patricia's carriage had been attacked.
Go on.
Apart from His Highness, whose injuries left him on the verge of death, everyone else present at the time was slaughtered. Of all the victims, only the corpse of Lady Patricia, His Majesty's second wife, was never found. Isn't that right?
Surely that means she was abducted. There was no evidence of an attack, suggesting they threatened her, but did not kill her.
But what reason would they have to take her? Would it not have been better to kill her?
Perhaps she had some value as a diplomatic pawn.
Nonsense. In the many years since that day, has Lady Patricia ever been used thus?
No, not as far as I know. Then perhaps she was used for some political gain within the Empire.
Now that her daughter is the Emperor, what reason would she have to keep hiding her existence?
It is possible she passed away after returning to the Empire.
Gustav, I know this is hard for you to hear, but just consider what it would mean if Lady Patricia was involved with that incident.
Silence, Rodrigue. I will not allow you to tarnish her memory like that.
I do not mean to imply that she arranged His Majesty's murder or anything of the like. But Gustav, I cannot shake the feeling that the tragedy was part of a much larger conspiracy. There is more to it than we know. That much is certain.
Rodrigue! Gilbert! Please hurry!
To kill like this is inhuman.
This is one of the knights we dispatched to the leader of the Alliance. Tell me everything you know.
Sir, a soldier on patrol came across this night a short while ago, in a rocky area not far from here. Someone from the Alliance must have disposed of the body there.
Is this how the Alliance chose to inform us that they have no intention of joining our cause?
Yes. I would not hesitate to believe them capable of this.
Whatever the truth is, the other knights we dispatched are in serious danger. It's best to assume that joining with the Alliance is out of the question now.
Even with Count Karen's support, this makes our situation grim.
I never expected the Alliance to help us. Anyone who stands in my way will be crushed beneath my feet.
It is time, dear brother.
I am always glad to spend time with you. Much appreciated. Nice. Sorry? Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Sorry? Right. Thank you for spending time with me. What a treat. I hope we can do this again soon.